Selah and the Spades is about a boarding school that has students that have created these factions that play different parts in the structure that they've built amongst each other, kind of like a council of sorts, where there's no teachers nor any adults involved. It's just an understanding that they have amongst each other to solve problems and get things done, whether legal or illegal. And at the top of it all is Selah, who is Queen of the Spades and is dealing with the good and bad with being on top and what it takes to remain that way. Now, first off, I really was intrigued by the aspect of the children of this boarding school having a system like that going, but honestly, it seemed like these kids are going to either grow up to be really good at business, rather drug dealing or white collar, and I vote drug dealing. But they do have serious consequences for things that aren't as serious as death, but pain is involved. But as the title entails, it does revolve around Selah dealing with the pressures from home, school, her friends, and trying to keep control of her empire and stay on top by any means necessary. And she is really cold-hearted, especially when it comes to staying on top, and she is really all about her business to the point where she doesn't even want to have sex because it would deviate her from just handling what she needs to handle. And I really like how even though Selah has control over her group and basically the school, she doesn't have control over every aspect of her life, like say with her mother and her mother's expectations of her. So the Spades is her way of controlling at least one aspect of her life. And I like that because it gives a little bit more depth to the character and it puts more layers on her. That way she's not just like this just for the hell of it. There is a reason, a significant reason why she comes across this and why she has to be that way. And Lovey Simone as Selah is amazing in the main role. She kills it and I love every minute of her performance. She commands the screen and just the emotion, whether she's sad, whether she's angry and kind of bitchy, she commands it. Like, she wants you to look at it and she brings that to life. She becomes that character to where you're thinking while you're watching this, like, I would never want to cross her because she is all about that business. And of course, in watching this movie is all about Selah. She is the title character, and so it's all about her, the main character and all that stuff. But they introduce an element where a new girl comes into the school and Selah takes her under her wing, and usually in those situations the movie revolves around the new person coming into this world, but that's not the case with the title being the way it is. It really does just mainly focuses on Selah, but I was really confused about that element because my mind was trained to expect something more from the new girl in that type of way. But I guess you could say that's more of a nitpick than just a negative, but I don't know, maybe that's just something that just stuck out to me. But I really love the way it was shot. It had an indie look to it in certain shots with characters looking at the camera as they pan away or forward while someone speaks, and I really did like that, and that way a filmmaker can really work, and it really did in this film. As well as I like the shot that really showcased the beautiful black imagery of the characters, and I love the way they came across, and I love the time taken to make that look the way it did, because that's what we need more in films like these, are shots that emphasize our beautiful black people. And yeah, maybe this movie could have delved a little bit more deeper into the lore of the factions and how they got started and stuff, but honestly that didn't bother me too much. But what did bother me was the ending. I wasn't a big fan of it. It wasn't anything too major, but I just did not like how this film ended off, and it really wasn't my cup of tea, but what the hey. This movie is a hit. I recommend you guys go ahead and check it out. You can find it on Amazon Prime. It is an Amazon Prime original, so if you have that, just check it out. One day if you are sitting at home and you're looking for something to watch, and you kind of curious, go ahead and check it out. You may end up liking it because it is a pretty damn good movie, and I think a lot of people should check it out.